All right, so Michigan refuses to take Trump off the ballot, just like all the other states except for Colorado, because they know that you can't just do that, that taking Trump off the ballot, taking anybody off the ballot, essentially, is undermining democracy. You're doing an end run around saying you can't vote for this person specifically. And that is just not the American way. That's not how we're supposed to do things around here. And these people over in Colorado are just insane. But I don't believe it's going to stand. I believe that they're going to get around it, and Trump's going to be on the ballot. So if you're going to vote, vote for who you want to, and don't let the government tell you who you can and cannot vote for, because this is America, and it's supposed to be the freedom country, right? I think we can all agree with that. This is supposed to be the freest place on earth. You know, liberty is one of our guiding principles, and when you start to take liberty away, which they've been chipping away at our liberties for a long time, it starts to erode our very being, our very purpose in life. The House Ethics Committee opens up an investigation into a Florida Democrat for financial campaign abuses. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. We just had the House Ethics Committee do a scathing report on George Santos for the same damn thing, and he got booted, so we're going to see how this plays out. This time it's a Democrat, folks. Trump thinks that Vivek Ramaswamy is going to endorse him for 2024. And get this, John Fetterman, a U.S. senator who's had a stroke, as we know, and is not really able to do the job of a senator, told Democrat strategist James Carville to shut the up when they were talking about Biden's competency as president. We all know, we can all look at Joe Biden and tell the guy's getting upwards in age. His mental capacity is waning fast. He's going downhill really fast. And it's clear to see for everybody. The man shakes hands with ghosts. He can't find his way off the stage. He trips and falls. A lot of old people do that. But that is dangerous for older people to do because, you know, you step off stage, you break a leg and a ligament, and possibly your hip. And you just never know. So his mental capacity is gone, and John Fetterman is like, shut up. Of course, what reaction do you usually get from somebody when they run out of their arguments? They tell you to shut the F up. So we know where that goes, right? What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is Legitical Response. We cover political news, stuff you're not going to hear about in the mainstream, and we also take mainstream narratives and we run them through a logic test to see if it makes any sense at all, because a lot of the stuff they say, they love to twist and turn stuff to where it makes you think this when it was really that. So that's what we try to do. We try to keep the people informed. So if you want to stay up to date with political news, smash that subscribe button for me. If you don't mind, it would be a big, big help to the channel. And if you also could, look right below and hit that like button for me. Go ahead and knock that like button out. You know what? Hit the like button if you love America. I'll just say it plainly as that. But enough of all that. Let's go ahead and get into some news, because we got some interesting stuff going on, folks. GOP suggests President Biden may have obstructed justice in his son's defying subpoena. You know, when the House Oversight Committee subpoenaed Hunter Biden, and he didn't show up. He didn't show up to the deposition hall. He shows up in front of the Senate hall and gave a press conference, folks, instead of doing what he was supposed to do, go in for a deposition. Now, why would he not want to go in for a deposition? Well, he claims it's so Republicans can take stuff and twist his words. You know, if you don't have anything wrong, then why not just show up, do your deposition, then have your public committee hearing, and lay it all out for folks. But instead, you want to play these games, and now they're thinking that Joe Biden may have known beforehand and have intentionally obstructed Congress. Yes, this is kind of a big deal. However, If the DOJ doesn't want to prosecute, they're not going to prosecute. That's as simple as that. Yeah, congressional subpoena power doesn't hold nearly as much weight as executive subpoena power. It's essentially subpoena power that comes from the judicial because they have the police to back them up. Congress doesn't have the police, which kind of sucks, but, if you got too many police departments, you start worrying about precincts and who covers this district and all that, and it would just get too messy. So I understand there's some holes in the system, but you're always going to have holes in the system. But let's get into it, folks. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer and House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan are suggesting that President Biden may have engaged in a conspiracy to obstruct a proceeding of Congress if he knew that his son, Hunter Biden, planned to defy a congressional subpoena, and it appears that he did. In a Wednesday letter to Edward Siskel, a White House counsel and assistant to the president, the committee chairs requested documents and communications from employees of the executive office of the president regarding the deposition of Hunter Biden. Now, logically think about this for a minute, okay? You get subpoenaed by Congress. Your dad just so happens to be the president of the United States. Do you think for a second you're not going to talk to your dad about that? Saying, hey, what the hell is up with this? They gave me a subpoena. Wouldn't you ask for advice? I think we can all logically figure that one out right quick. Comer and Jordan pointed to a statement from White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre to justify their suspicion of obstruction and said it could constitute an impeachable offense. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The charge comes 2 weeks after Hunter Biden defied a subpoena from House Republicans as part of their impeachment probe concerning the president's relationship with his family's business dealings. The White House has repeatedly asserted that the president had no involvement in those business dealings, and it has rebuffed other accusations of obstruction by pointing to numerous Biden administration officials speaking to the committee. Yeah. See how they're trying to obfuscate what's going on here? Oh, yeah, well, some of our staff talked to some of your staff. No, that's not what they're talking about, folks. In other words, all that I just read out was totally irrelevant. That last paragraph. Yeah, that last paragraph right there. Yeah. They didn't have to put that. They just threw that in there to kind of obfuscate what's really going on here. In response to the House GOP subpoena to appear in a closed-door deposition, Hunter Biden had offered to speak in a public hearing with his attorney, pointing to a previous statement from Comer saying that witness could come in depositions or committee hearings, whichever they choose. But Comer and Jordan said a closed-door format was necessary first. And like I've said before on this channel in previous videos, every single person that testifies in front of Congress, they always testify in a closed-door deposition. They give their testimony about what they're going to be talking about. It's put into the record. All the congressmen, Democrats and Republicans, they all get a copy printed out of what their testimony was so they can go over it, look at everything, formulate their questions, formulate their strategy for asking those questions, and then if they happen to lie about something, they can point it out saying, well, your testimony said this. That's what that is for. Every single person that ever goes in front of Congress has to go through that process. So why would they treat Hunter Biden any different? No. They want him to testify and say something so that if he does lie in a public committee hearing, boom, they got him. Rather than appear for the deposition scheduled for December 13th, Hunter Biden spoke outside the Capitol in a space recorded to be reserved by Rep. Eric Swalwell. and made a statement to the press asserting that his father was never financially involved with his business. House Republicans have pledged to hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress over his failure to appear for the closed-door session. And you see how they're saying that now? They're throwing the financially involved. You know, first back in 2020, when this first came out with Trump, Biden's been saying, I never talked to my son about anything. You know, that's what it was first. I don't know nothing about his business dealings, right? And then when the House Oversight Committee was proved that he did know about them, I never talked to him about it. And then when that was proved wrong, when it was proved wrong that Joe Biden discussed Hunter Biden's business dealings with some of Hunter Biden's business associates, now they're switching to, I wasn't financially involved. So we can all see where this is leading. There's plenty of checks proving that James Biden and Hunter Biden paid Joe Biden money for quote-unquote loan repayments right after getting money from some of these same businesses that they claimed Joe Biden was not financially involved with, right? They paid out to James Biden and Hunter Biden, who immediately turn right around and write a check to Joe Biden that same day or the next day. What do you mean by not financially involved? Specifically, because to me, that looks like financially involved. Sure, we don't have a smoking gun, but you take Biden out of this situation and put it on anybody in front of a jury, what's going to happen? They're going to be like, oh yeah, he was definitely involved. You could probably get a conviction out of that. But no, the damn bar has to be so high that we have to actually have the smoking gun to prosecute Biden, to impeach Biden. They're slowly chipping away at it, but Biden's 2024 hopes are going down, 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 which could be good news, could be bad news. You never know, depending on who's going to replace Biden. You know, it's crazy to think about Karine Jean-Pierre, the most untalented White House press secretary ever, may have just put the nail in the Biden coffin. Nuts, folks. Comer and Jordan wrote that the statement from Jean-Pierre indicated that President Biden was aware in advance that his son Hunter Biden would knowingly defy 2 congressional subpoenas, compelling them to examine as part of our impeachment inquiry whether the president engaged in a conspiracy to obstruct proceeding of Congress. The day that Hunter Biden did not appear for the deposition, Jean-Pierre, in a press briefing, dodged questions about whether he would appear for a subpoena, but said the president had some insight ahead of his son's comments. The president was certainly familiar with what his son was going to say, and I think what you saw from the heart from his son, she said. Nailing that damn nail down into that coffin. Comer and Jordan also brought up December 6th statement from Biden saying that claims he interacted with his son and his brother's foreign business partners were a bunch of lies. Hang on, Joe. Really? No. Devin Archer, a former Hunter Biden business partner, has testified that Biden exchanged pleasantries with some of Hunter Biden's foreign business partners on speakerphone phone calls during a 2014 dinner at Cafe Milano, but did not discuss business. One time. In light of this evidence, the fact that the president had advanced awareness that Mr. Biden would defy the committee's subpoena raises a troubling new question that we must examine. Whether the president corruptly sought to influence or obstruct the committee's proceedings by preventing, discouraging, or dissuading his son from complying with the committee's subpoenas, the letter said. Such conduct could constitute an impeachable offense. It is not beyond imagination to think that Joe Biden would tell his son, screw them, you don't have to show up because my Department of Justice isn't going to prosecute you. That's not crazy to think that. As a matter of fact, That would be the next logical step. Just saying. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the DOJ. Comer and Jordan requested that the White House provide by January 10th all documents and communications sent or received by employees of the Executive Office of the President regarding the deposition of Hunter Biden and sent or received by employees of the Executive Office of the President regarding President Biden's statement about his family's business associates on December 6th. So, wonder what will actually happen if we get a Biden impeachment. We all know that not a single Democrat, even knowing that Joe Biden said, screw Congress, we're going to do an end run around Congress, knowing that he said that, if he said that, still wouldn't vote for impeachment, right? So, you might get impeached, but you're not going to be convicted. There's too many Democrats in the Senate for that. But it would pretty much all but ruin Joe Biden's chances for 2024. And for the country, that is great news. Like I've stated before, anybody that looks at Joe Biden currently and thinks, yes, I want this guy for another 4 years, is absolutely not paying attention to what Joe Biden is doing, or they're insane. Because the route that this country has taken since 2021 has been nothing but downhill. Downhill in a very bad way. And we must recover from this. We must get somebody other than Joe Biden. I would be content with RFK Jr. in the White House, to be honest. I don't like a lot of his policies, but he would be way better than Biden. I think even Nikki Haley would be better than Biden. That's terrible, folks. And I still don't understand all the people backing up Nikki Haley. Gee whiz. There's so much corruption pointing to her that it looks like, I don't know what the hell it looks like, to be honest with you. But that's all I got for this one, folks. I want to thank everybody for watching. Like I said, if you're new around here, do me a big favor. Smash that subscribe button. And everybody, don't forget to hit that like button for me. It sure would be appreciated. And thanks for watching, y'all. And y'all be positive. Peace.